How's it going, YouTube? My name is LVN. If you don't recognize me, don't worry. I am pretty new to the raid scene in terms of content creation, but I've been playing the game for since its launch, and I have been making World of Warcraft content for quite a few years now. Well, if you saw my last video, which is all the carries and what makes a carry in Raid Shadow Legends, I talked quite a bit about this guy, Bellower. He is a rare, but he is a void rare, so he's a little hard to get, but he's still, I would consider him free to play, and a lot of you free to play players will come across him in your game's lifespan. But in today's video, I kind of want to be talking about him, showcasing him, and the best way to build him. Now, if you look now, I have a broken set. I haven't used him in quite some time on this account because he was my first ever 6-star, and I do not regret it. So he is kind of known as a campaign farmer. So if you can push his attack up to about 4,000 and up to about 250% crit damage, and with the right masteries, he can full clear 12-3, 12-6 brutal in 7 seconds. He's insane for that. But I have pulled Biggin on this account since then, and I do not need him for that. So I'm going to be showing you guys the best way to build him, and I'll kind of be re-gearing him for this video. So let's quickly talk about his skills. So he has a 15 aura and 15% speed aura and faction crypts. And I do have him awakened, so the blessing that I think is probably best for him in all forms of content, no matter the build, is Phantom Touch. It's just bonus damage, basically. He doesn't really benefit from the other rare blessings, but this one is probably his best option. So he is a debuffer, but a small debuffer. All of the debuffs he applies are the small version. So his A1 attacks all enemies and has a small percent chance of placing a block active skills debuff, which is actually really good, a really good lockdown ability. His second ability is attacks all enemies once again, 50% chance of placing the small decrease speed. So it's still a debuff, still a good debuff, but it's the small version. And then this one can place, it's an AoE again, so all three of his abilities are AoE, which is what you will find kind of makes him a great champion. It places the small version of decreased attack and defense. So all of these small debuffs are not great. They're not. But if your main debuffer were to miss their decreased defense, I mean, this can just come in clutch. I mean, it's just a bonus added effect. It won't overwrite the big decreased damage or decreased attack, so it's just a great option to have. But his primary talent is having triple AoE attacks. So let's get into the masteries. I kind of built this mastery set for when I was trying to help him be the spider tank farm, which he can do. He can do so many things. He can be a nuker for your campaign farming. He can be a solo tank for spider if you have him done correctly in lifesteal. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about him as a complete carry, so a CC god. So let's reset his masteries. And the mastery that we're going to be working down to is Fearsome Presence. So it increases the chance of placing stun, sleep, freeze, all this, but mainly stun. Now, if you wanted to put him in Provoke set, if you were able to keep him topped up and keep him basically unkillable, Provoke set could be a little bit better in that case, but Stun is just the most versatile set to put him in. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to put him in, we're actually going to give him Defense, because he might be taking a couple hits. Decrease attack for AoE. We want to remove debuffs just in case he does get debuffed, and then make him a little bit more tanky. We just want to make sure he's surviving. And then give him this chance to counterattack, which is great, and then increasing the chance of stun. And then down this side, we can give him either one of these works. This tree does not matter. We're basically just going to be working down to Sniper and Evil Eye, so just whatever gets you down there the best way. But I'm going to go accuracy just in case we do need him to land those extra buffs. I am going to go the basic route, and this is the base build that we're going to be going with. I'll let you guys fill in the gaps with whatever you think is best, but you basically get one more here and then one more here with whatever you want for your content, whatever you feel is lacking for your team. So he is a great champion throughout the end game and the early game, and he basically is played by in-game players through and through. And let's go ahead and build him. So we want him in a stun set. We're going to be getting an extra 5% chance from the stun set of landing that stun. So the stun set normally does I believe it's 18% chance to stun on each hit. Yes, so now it's going to be doing a 23% chance to stun each enemy each hit. So at the baseline, that's 23% each turn. But if you can get him fast enough, if you can get him going 2 for 1, that's where he really shines, because then you're getting 23% chance twice per every enemy's turn. So we're going to have him in stun speed boots to have him as quick as possible. We don't care about his damage. We just want him to be tanky, just survive, and just go often. So we want him in an HP set chest, and then hopefully an HP glove. But crit rate glove could be good if you do want to kind of spread some damage. But we just want him going fast. So I'm actually going to filter to equipped and see what pieces we can hijack from some other people. So great HP and speed, exactly what we want. I need to make some space. Let's sell a piece really quick. Let's sell this piece. Why not? All right. So we're going to equip this piece. Great. And all this gear is about 3 or 4 years old, so that is why some of them are kind of crappy pieces. So we have 3 pieces of stun. We really do want that set. This accuracy chest is not going to do it. Let's see. We just want beefiness. We want straight up beefiness. So HP gloves with a little bit of speed. Oh, those are stinky gloves. Okay, HP. This is perfect. So we're gonna equip these, and let's see. We really want to get rid of this chest. So how can we get rid of this chest? It might have to come from another set. So let's look for a helmet or a shield. Once again, just speed is going to be king on this build. We want him going fast and often compared to the enemy champions. Let's see. This shield is very nice. I am stripping this dude a lot, but I don't really use that champion. Let's sell some gear really quick. I am capped on gear, as you should not be. And there it is from campaign farming. Okay. Alright, so now what were we doing? We were taking this guy's shield. Alright, so we have 5 pieces of stun, but we have the 4 that we want here on the sides, and then we want to get rid of these 2. So we want him fast and tanky, so we're going to see if we have some speed gear. Yeah, this build, it should be achievable early game. It is stun set, so it's a little harder to farm. But you can go with a 5-star set of speed boots. You're only going to be missing out on 5 speed there. But if you can get a 6-star piece of stun boots or speed boots, it is a great option. And then speed gear is probably what most people have the most of. If you look, I have the most of it. I have a ton of speed gear. So we're actually going to filter off of equipped, even though I just filtered it back on. We're going to filter by these 2 and see what we can find. A resistance chest could be very good. Keep him from getting stunned and so that he can continue to keep locking down enemies. This piece, great option. We're gonna go with this. What did I just equip? Oh, I did equip the resist piece. Okay, we'll get that a shot. So I think this is the piece that I was thinking about. All right, do we have another chest though? Do we have a better chest? No, just attack. So since we aren't worrying about his damage, we just want him to be survive and get those stuns off. We do want some form of tanky chest. Resist is fine, but HP is probably the best option. And then defense would be fine too. Let's get this stinky 4-star banner off really quick. Let's see if we can find a piece with better than 7 speed. We are basically just looking for speed. Ideally, it is a tanky set. But it's totally fine if it's like an attack banner. We just want him going fast. He doesn't need to be the most tanky champion ever, because since he's going to be doing so much locking down, he's going to keep the enemies from hitting him. So we're actually just going to go with this basic 8 +8 banner. And now let's look for like a defense. Do we have a defense amulet? It doesn't matter what level these are. I kind of want it to be more early game accessible for you guys. Just in case you are a newer player, you just pulled Bellower for the first time. And we will actually go with this one. And then this one's probably an attack ring. Yeah, we're going to take that off. I don't have any leveled up, but you know what? To show just how little of a tank he needs to be, we're actually going to keep the attack ring on. So let's look at these stats and see if they're going to get it done. So we have him in a stun set and a speed set. and he has 45,000 HP. He has 2,000 defense, a little low on the defense, but the ring and the amulet could have really supplemented that. We have low crit rate, crit damage. We are not too worried about his damage at all. And we have a high resist, which is good. It's not required at all. Basically, we want to look at this HP number and the speed number, and then make sure that we have this correct mastery and these chances to counterattack in case he is hit, and then just make sure that we have the stun set on. So let's go ahead and look at him in action. I'm going to show you the team that I'm going to be using him with. We have Zargala. She is not in great gear. It looks good at first glance, but it's really not. She has kind of low speed, good accuracy, a little bit of damage built in, and some HP. So she's just there to place her decreased defense to kind of enable the team that way. We have our Apothecary. He is in low level gear, so very easily accessible, but he's going to be going a little bit quick. He does not have high crit rate, which you kind of do want on him, and he's a little bit tanky. Good for the early game, not good for the late game. Like I said, I tried to scale down this gear. I know a lot of YouTubers out there don't really have that option. So since I still have some stinky gear hidden on my account for a late game player, that is what I'm using. So this Frozen Banshee, low accuracy. We're going to see if we can do it. We're going to use her in coupled with a Kale. So she does not need to land every debuff, but she's also going to be very slow. But I'm trying to make everyone slow to kind of show how strong the stuns are. They don't need to be fast if our Bellower is controlling the enemy team the whole time. Next up is Kale. He's a little bit fast. He does a little bit of damage if he can get a crit off, but he has a lot of accuracy. Not tanky at all, so we really want that Bellower to come in clutch. So that is the team that I'm going to be showing you guys with this Bellower, and I just want you guys to see how strong it is and how strong this Bellower can be. So we're going to go into a Dragon 20. So if you are an early game player and you want to get into farming Dragon, Bellower can really enable that, and we will show you how. We're actually going to put Apothecary in the lead, and we have one epic, so hopefully there are a lot of different epics that can fill this role, like Tyrell, if you have a Madame Saris for some reason, but just the decreased defense is kind of all she's in here for. This could also be a War Maiden, but I do not have one on this account. So let's go ahead and play it, and let's see how much Bellower can CC the enemy. It's taking a little bit to load in, and Dragon 20 is considered the easiest dungeon. And right there, we got 2 stuns off. Pretty good. It's about what you'd expect, about 1 to 2. He hit again, did not get another stun, but he is placing those decreased speed debuffs, which is actually helping out a lot. Even though it's a small version, it's just keeping our slow guys, helping them even more. So it looks like we're getting some hits through. So Kale is taking a big hit. We could suffer from not having a reviver. Kale is really taking the brunt of this, but we get some stuns out. I mean, he is just doing his job. It seems like no one else is really doing their job. Zargala is not doing the damage, and there she goes applying the decreased defense, but he stuns 2 out of 3 enemies. I mean, this Kale would be dead 10 times over by now if he were not stunning the enemies, but you see he's going very often, getting those stuns off. Look at that, stunning 1 out of 2. I mean, basically it's just up to this Tyrell to try to take someone out. And as you see, the rest of this team is not picking up the slack. The Frozen Banshee basically did nothing that whole wave. He stunned 1, but then kept these 2 from using their abilities. They're basically locked out. I mean, an Apothecary A1 will not do anything. We're not landing the stuns there, so it's a little concerning. This wave might get scary. Well, he decreased their attack, which is good, and it probably just saved that Kale. Ooh, Kale is on the brink of death. Stunned the guy that was going to go next, basically, so saved him. Apothecary came in clutch with the heal. 2 more stunts. I mean, like, Bellower is putting in work, and you'll see he will help you get through this mid-game content. Obviously, hopefully by then you would have better champs than some of these, be able to replace it with another CC champion, but currently he is the solo crowd control champion unless you factor in Apothecary's speed boost as a form of crowd control. It's like the anti-crowd control, but so he is doing that job solo, and he's doing a very good job of it. So got the Tabro only going to be able to use its A1 instead of the AoE or the big shot. So he basically will not be able to kill someone quick enough. And there we go. So we made it through the waves, which once you get to the dragon, if you have any amount of poison champions, you can kind of get through this content pretty easy. We got that poison sensitivity debuff from Frozen Banshee. And now he kind of just sits back and lets the rest of the guys, he's done his job. He has done his job, and he has got us to the dragon. So you saw those stuns, I mean, came in clutch. The amount of times that Kale would have died is unreal, but he just, I mean, he put in work. And if you do have more in-game gear, if you could get him even tankier, you could put him in a provoke set, and that would have a higher chance to land than the stun set, and it would probably be better, especially if you pair him with an apothecary with that big single target heal. It could be better because he'll be taking all the hits for everyone, and then your Kale won't be at risk of dying. Once again, it would probably end up being better. But for now, for the early game, you want to just get those stuns landed. Also, I do want to show you that this can also still, it can also campaign farm this build, because you're going to be going twice per the campaign enemies, so you just need to two-shot them to make sure that you don't take a hit. And then if you don't two-shot them, they're probably going to get stunned. So you won't be dying, you'll be killing them. And it's just, this build is just really solid. But where this Bellower will really shine is in the rare rooms, the rare hard rooms on Doom Tower. We're probably going to sell this piece. But yeah, look at that. I mean, he does not, once again, does not do a lot of damage. Kale's poisons kind of carried us, but if you compare him to the Zargala that had a lot of damage built, I mean, still those AoEs do add up. But that amount of stuns was just insane. So Bellower is just, he's just an all-around carry. Let's see if we have a Doom Tower rare room open. I don't believe that we do. Let's see. Do we have a rare or a void one? I mean, he can play in a lot of these rare, or in a lot of these hard or easy Doom Tower rooms. Is that a... No. I saw some rares there, but no. Does not look like we have any currently in this this rotation. What is this? Talarian Alliance. I don't even know what that means, but it does not feel like he is a part of that. So, come on, last few tries. Because I would love to show you guys what he can do in these rooms, because I mean, this is where he will really shine, where the in-game players actually still use him. Okay, here we go, Bellower. We actually do have one. It is an easy, it is the first one, so I do apologize for that. I can't really control that. But let's go ahead and see how much work he puts in this secret room. Man, these load screens are not it today. 3 stuns right off the bat. This wave is done. Even if it were a hard Doom Tower in a bigger room, that wave would have been done. The rest of our team, like our Heartseeker, could have stunned the 4th guy, and then by then the 5th guy couldn't have killed us. So just great stuff from this Bellower. Honestly, this is one of my favorite champions, if not my favorite champion in the entire game. And it's just because he hard carried me through the early game, being a very fast campaign farmer. Although I couldn't one-shot every wave, he would just two-shot every single wave for sure. And it just sped up the growth of my account. So at the very least, you can build him for that early game if you need that. But if you are lacking in CC on your account, Bellower is the way to go. He is so good, and he is just so tanky. You can build him very tanky. So, I mean, that's the secret room. Super easy stuff. I do apologize that there's not a better one for me to attack. But that is going to do it for this showcase. I mean, hopefully you guys saw the strength of this Bellower. He enables champions. That is exactly why I call these CC champions carry champions. Because Kale, although he does a ton of damage, he would not have been able to carry that dungeon had Bellower not carried him through it. So that CC is just what does the job. And I'm going to keep him with this build. I use my free reset. The stun set is the way to go on this guy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully there's some early game players out there that kind of gained something from this and have a Bellower sitting in their vault and kind of decided to use it, and I really hope you do, because he is a great champion. And you know what, if you liked this video, make sure and like it down below. If you disliked it, don't like my content, let me know too. Any of those metrics really help me. But no matter what, if you made it this far in the video, please hit subscribe. Really helps the growth of my channel and can help me kind of get to doing more raid content more often, because I love the community. I want to get to know all these guys that make content, and I want to become one of them to kind of help the community. I want to help the free-to-play players the most, but just make raid content because I love this game and I have for years, and I want to be a part of the community. So make sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of my uploads, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.